Chapter 42. The chase is on. Bouncer, pull Ringo out as soon as you can. I think we have enough information to review later. The first experiment was quite potent looking to me. What on earth do you think that blue flash and blurring was all about? I have no clue, Graham. Do you think we'll see anything else? Don't worry, I think Elon will be able to help there, smiled Graham. As soon as Ringo was back and packed, the boys headed for the exit. Crowds of workers were making their way to the lab to share in the euphoria of the initial experiment. Once out of the main corridor system, the boys made their way to the changing rooms to dump the lab coats and get their own belongings, and then headed to the car park. Next we get out of the building. Graham hoped the hullabaloo of the successful experiment would ease their egress, and so far that seemed to be the case. In the car park they returned the IDs back to the rightful owners and started to make their way back to the hotel and see what had happened to their Barnaby. At the same time as the boys' escape from the laboratory was unfurling, Barnaby's escape was leading him on a collision course with them in a rental car he had borrowed, once he had managed to escape the hotel room. It seemed obvious to Barnaby that the boys being in Kiruna was no coincidence. On this basis he headed straight for the laboratory. They had to be there trying to work out exactly what it was that they now possessed in great abundance. Meanwhile, the boys were unwittingly heading straight towards the speeding Barnaby. I think we can safely phase back now, Bouncer. Let's nip down this alley out of sight, said Graham. I've been thinking that now our Barnaby has escaped, we better not go back to the hotel. I think if I shift into a motorbike we can get out of town. Then I can phase into a plane or helicopter or something similar, then fly ourselves out of here quick sharp. What do you think, Bouncer? I'm game if you are, Graham. I have always loved motorbikes, Bouncer said, smiling back at Graham. And as for helicopters, well, I could fly all day. It was at that precise moment the boys were turning into the deserted alley that Barnaby was approaching. Slowing down, his intuition had gone into overdrive. And there was something very familiar about these two strangers. No sooner had the two people walked into the alley than a bright flash of light exploded into the night, for a second illuminating the entire alley. As the car slowed, Barnaby looked into the alley. Stunned, he watched the two strangers physically transform, one into a bike of all things, the other into the guy from earlier called Bouncer, and then seconds later Bouncer came out riding the motorbike. What on earth just happened? Barnaby asked himself as he turned the car to follow them, wherever they are going. Barnaby knew many great things were possible. As he followed them, the only conclusion was that these two spies were capable of nothing less than total matter transformation. How they managed it was another question for another day. Sepulchre thought that they had found all of the effects of activated solarium, but perhaps there were more, and perhaps this was the real reason their discovery had been stolen. Gathering himself and his sanity, Barnaby continued to follow the motorbike and rider. As long as he could, he would shadow their every move.